This organization, the National Council of Resistance of Iran, has adopted a 10-point plan, including democracy and free elections, pluralism and human rights, justice and the rule of law, peaceful coexistence and gender equality, private property and a market economy, the separation of religion and state, and of course, a non-nuclear Iran. Friends, I've never claimed to be able to tell the Iranian people who their government should be. Only that it is the Iranian people themselves who have the right to choose it. But surely this 10-point plan is what all people of good faith wish to see in a reformed and reborn Iranian nation.
Mrs. Rajavi and the 10-point plan provide the vision for effective action and the means to ensure a peaceful transition to a secular, non-nuclear, democratic, and free Iran. Mrs. Rajavi, I stand with you. I stand with you.
Well, why is it that the regime fears Madam Rajavi? Is it because she has tanks, because she has guns, because she has soldiers who are going to attack the regime? No, it's not for any of those reasons. It's for the simple reason that she stands for ideas of liberty, that her 10-point plan is the best hope for the freedom of the Iranian people.
And as well as I have read and viewed this dynamic 10-point plan of my sister in supporting a secular, democratic, non-nuclear Republic of Iran. Thank you, Madam, for your my sister, for your great continuous fight, your 10-point plan. It has been the guiding force. You are the guiding force.
The regime is very frightened. The movement is led by Madame Rajavi and inspired by her 10 points program for democracy in Iran. Your movement, dear friends, is invincible because it's driven by the example of hundreds of thousands of heroes who died for freedom and democracy in Iran.
You know, my friends, nobody symbolizes and represents the Iranian people's struggle against the regime better than my dear friends in the NCRI and my special friend, President-elect Mariam Rajavi. Her name and her message of freedom makes the regime shake at their very core. This is because of her 10-point plan, democratic platform to encompass the aspirations of the Iranian people.
The virus of the mullahs, of religious fascism needs to be extinguished. And we know that the principles of Madam Rajavi, we know the principles of NCRI, MEK, are those things that are going to provide that vaccination, that's going to bring a hope and a future to the people of Iran.
I want to thank Madam Rajavi, whom I had the pleasure of meeting several years ago. Your tireless efforts and your 10-point plan to bring independence, democracy, freedom, and human rights to Iran should inspire each and every one of us. It is indeed in Canada's interest and the world's to see a free Iran in our generation.
There is a ready and available democratic alternative to the corrupt and terrorist regime of the Ayatollahs, and it is the NCRI with its 10-point program for a democratic, secular, non-nuclear republic that guarantees equal rights for all, men and women. And we are here to rally support for that alternative and for the efforts of Mrs. Rajavi and others to end the nightmare that Iranians have been living since 1979.
People in 30,000 locations in over 100 countries all joined together to support freedom in Iran and Madam Rajavi's 10-point plan, and for a choice for a new start under a new government in a new Tehran.
And as our late Senator David Smith used to say, to support wholeheartedly the 10-point plan of Mrs. Rajavi and her desire for a free and democratic Iran.